Oh, sorry, weird time frame.
But he's a data dragon.
It's true. It is true.
Alright, now we're into game two.
Yep, game two starting off on really quick game one. These are two very quick decks. We've been seeing a lot of Blood Ruby, Wild Ruby all tournament. We've been seeing a lot of Blood Ruby even all tournament. They're both very quick, very fast, and I mean, it's hard to really evaluate if that's because the format is so quick or because other people just didn't come in prepared for it. Like, it seemed like if he could get a foot in the game, your round one opponent actually had an answer to most aggression, didn't he? Yeah.
Kind of, not so much Goremaster, but
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean,
most of
time,
it.
time wave hurts quite a bit there. And Ogth will trade with most things in the format, so give that guy an inch and he'll take a mile, though. That style of mono sapphire berry. So the shards coming out from both players here. Drist, of course, used a shard of savagery. Fire Rock just flat out playing a ruby shard. Really solid. I think this is the 12th or so feature match we've had over the 8 rounds. I think this is the 12th time we've seen both players play a shard on turn one. Very impressive play.
Mhm.
Drist, of course, plays a second shard. This time he chose his own shard of Wait, he did another shard of savagery, sorry. And Fire Rock, of course, turn two, just throws down another blood shard. Here we are.
I mean, you don't really need the second shard though.
Yeah, I mean, like, all you do is play one drops and you'll be fine. Alright, so there's that Warrior of Andronicus from Drist. On turn three, the Warrior of Andronicus puts a lot of pressure on the board for Fire Rock to have to worry about. It's a 3/3 for 3 with the ability to become a 5/5. Fire Rock, of course, puts down that Gore Master, and as we're all aware, that could, in a very explosive way, end the game in a turn or two if Drist isn't willing to do something about this. If he has a crackling bolt in hand, that will single-handedly remove the Gore Master and he can continue about his day. Otherwise, he's going to need blockers or something. He plays his own Gore Master, so we've got Blood Ruby Gore Master versus Wild Ruby Gore Master. I think the Wild Ruby Gore Master has a little bit of an advantage in that matchup, purely because Crackling Sprout is a charge and crush as opposed to just a charge. What do you feel about that, Nia?
Yeah, I mean, the crush makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Because you can get him as big as you like, and if it doesn't have crush, it's just gonna get chumped. Massive difference from the crush. I mean, you have the Stink Troll in Ruby, but that's really not that good.
Yeah, and I mean, you have Stink Troll and Ruby in both decks here. Fire Rock plays out the Killipede. Doesn't attack with his Gore Master, which seems fine here. This time he has to be on the defensive because a combination of two Crackling Sprouts and a Crackling Vortex, and this game is probably out of there. I haven't done the math on it. Let's see, it would be Crackling Vortex, Crackling Sprout into Lionel Charge Power, into Crackling Sprout, into Crackling Vortex. That's more than enough for lethal. It's a very specific set of 4 cards. 3 cards. There's the Crackling Sprout. There it is. 6/5 Crush Gore Master out of nowhere. Drist uses the champion charge power. 9/5 Crackling Vortex. 36/5 Crush Gore Master. Here it comes. For those
Gotta
of you.
love it.
Oh, there it is. How do you? there, and he has enough resources in hand to play Boulder Toss just in case. On the off chance he needed to, Boulder Toss is available. Fire Rock, of course, had no resources at that point. There was no answer. So the game is now 1-1. We're, what, 3 or 4 seconds into the round. So things progressed very quickly here. But like I was saying, I had 2 Crackling Sprouts in my prediction because I wanted to make things seem really out of hand. But there it was. Wow. Wow. So, is this matchup determined by who goes first, JJ?
Yeah, going first definitely makes a big difference. I don't know it's the only thing that matters, but it definitely makes a big difference here. And it could matter also if the Crackling Rot comes out early, or the Crackling Bolt on the Gore Master. But yeah, I tend to agree with you that I think the Wild Ruby is probably where I would want to be in this matchup. Just being able to have all the extra pump spells and extra crush, that seems like the place where you want to be here.
Goremaster having 3 defense is just so brutal.
I mean, it is, but of course, Gore Master. Are you talking about it's brutal in its defensive terms, like it's good? Or
Well,
are
I mean,
saying it's
you
brutal
can't-
that it only has 3?
No. I'm saying that it should, for what it does, it should be easier to remove.
Yeah.
With quick speed things like even in set 1, you can't burn it, you can't obviously Crackling Rot it, you can murder it and stuff, but the quick speed removal you have to get it when it's in its process of buffing up, like it would be good if you could remove the card whilst they're spending cards, so you could do it in response to like a burn or a Crackling Rot in response to a Sprout, and that would not only waste their card but kill the troop. But you can't do that with Bolt because it's a basic action. It's a pretty high defense for the amount of power it has, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
It feels like it should be a little bit lower on the toughness.
I don't know if it should be. It's a rare. 1-3 feels okay. They wanted to increase the power level in set 2 a little bit, and you have to, like, even in the best of worlds, like, you have to have a way to increase its base attack before it can get out of hand for too long. And then you also have to be able to give it crush. So that's huge too.
Well, whether
Here
it
comes
should
those
be
gem
is
snaps, by the
different,
way.
but the reason it's so powerful is because of that specific
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Its
which is
defense
good.
3.
Which is good. It's nice to see a card that can define a format. It does feel like a lot of really good cards end up in Ruby lately. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a meta where Ruby wasn't viable, which is neat. Anyway, back to the game. We got the turn 2 Gem Snatchers versus the turn 3 Jags the Blade Master. But Gem Snatchers don't actually have access to their charge power for Rage, and Fire Rock is